Hello, Rich.
Hello, I'm not sorry though.
Mr. Frog is president. Well, he's not my president. I didn't vote for him.
He's my president. So I voted for him when he wasn't even on the ballot.
You wrote it in. Like the idea that instead of ticking the box for Obama, you wrote in Mr. Frog's name. So, we had an idea for an episode. Mr. Frog at the United Nations Assembly. Now, we need the Smiling Friends to be the focus of it, so who could they be helping? Or do we start with Mr. Frog at the Assembly, and then they're called in for some reason?
So, they're in the lunchroom, and Charlie's like, oh my god, have you seen the news? Pim's watching that telly again where he's, like just a little weird alien doing a dance. And then he's like, you don't have to watch the news, just look out the window. And then they look out the window, and there's just like nukes getting dropped everywhere. Or like bomb. Or like not nukes, it'd be like a gas, and it'll be like this corporation, and it just says Mr. Frog's poisonous chemicals on the side.
Right.
So what he's done is he's sold off America to like corporations so that like they can be experimented on.
We need one person to help. Maybe a farmer, like on the outskirts of town, and they've been using his farm as a testing facility.
Yeah.
Like in Oppenheimer where they was testing it in the middle of the desert. They've just been doing it on his farm and it's been destroying his crop.
What if that's it? They're like in the car, Pim's like, Charlie, I can't wait to get a pumpkin. I love Halloween. They go over the hill and it's just these vast fields of blackness and ash.
It can be Pim's favourite pumpkin picking spot. And that's the farm and it's just desolate.
Yeah. Pim's like, what happened here? Oh my god, what happened here? And Charlie's like, I thought you knew, Mr. Frog sold off like all the land.
Is it like that thing in Johnny English where the Queen can claim any British soil for herself?
Yeah.
But they've enacted that and Mr. Frog's just claimed this pumpkin patch.
He claimed it under the Kill All the Bugs Act, which means any land with bugs on it has to be taken back, which of course is all land. And then, they arrived to the pumpkin cellar.
Can he have a head of like a pumpkin? And we're not sure if it's a mask or if it's his real face. Like when Dwight was wearing the pumpkin head in the office.
Yeah. So it's just fully like that. Yeah, and Charlie's like freaked out. He's like, oh my god, are you okay? And then Pim's like, Charlie, that's just his head.
Can his name be Mr. Pumpskin?
Yeah, Pumpskin. And Mr. Pumpskin's like, my whole livelihood is gone.
To help this guy, do they have to get rid of all the bugs on the land so Mr. Frog no longer has claim to it?
Yeah, Pim goes, why would Mr. Frog do this? I thought, he's a frog. Doesn't he like nature? And then Mr. Pumpskin is like, it's his henchmen. They come every day with the poisons, but I see them. They plant the bugs. So what they're doing is even if there's not like bugs, they plant the bugs so they continue to poison them.
So they have to film it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So they do this investigative journalism episode. So Pim automatically goes, this sounds like an adventure for my useless degree in English. But Charlie doesn't want to do this because he likes Mr. Frog. He's like, but he's making so much money off the land.
Maybe Charlie hates pumpkins. Good. We have to throw them away anyway. They rot in like 2 weeks.
Do you know why we carved them out, Pim? Because we wanted them to die. We emptied them of their brains and then we bin them. So that's the thing. From there, they go and try and investigate it. Did he go to the Mr. Frog offices? Not the White House, but the corporation.
And they're working on the campaign for 4 years' time.
Yeah.
Pim's like, do you care to comment on this? And one of Mr. Frog's henchmen is like, of course we wouldn't do something like that. And then he's turning to his other henchmen and whispering loads.
Yeah, but the most loud. So we can hear you whispering. And they're like, we're actually trading in deep state secrets. Can you just leave us alone? So then they go outside and they're sad in the alleyway. It's like, investigative journalism is hard. It's like they only done one thing.
All he did was go to his office and ask for comments. And he said no, and he's like, well, we've tried every option. We need to go back to the farm. And maybe they wait out until nighttime and catch the people planting the bug. But Pim's holding a camera and he's like, we've got it, we've got the proof. But the cap is on the end of the camera.
Yeah, we do that. And then Charlie goes, it's okay, I've got an idea. And then it cuts to United Nations and it's just a picture on the wall of Mr. Frog deep faked to sort of doing the most heinous crimes to the to the plantations. He goes, but those are deep faked. He's like, we watched in your campaign video, you punch a woman to death.
Do you remember when Khrushchev, I'm saying this like it happened in our lifetime, when Khrushchev was at the United Nations and he took off his shoe and was banging it against a desk?
No.
Can Mr. Frog do that? He's not wearing a
Yeah.
shoe, but maybe he's banging a bug or something.
Yeah, what if he's just carrying out around a bug carcass the whole time?
Yeah, so he's banging his bug against the desk.
Yeah. And it's just like this flappy, sad, dead thing.
Now, the United Nations are interrogating him, so he lays off the pumpkin patch. But we definitely need a line at the end, like Pim going, "He'll never get re-elected." Charlie's like, "Oh, you never know, Pim. You never know."
You never know, Pim. War criminals always get back in.
And then he names a president from the past who was a war criminal, because on Smile and Friends, they like to do like alternative history. Remember how John Wilkes Booth ran for president for 4 terms?
So the ending is they need to replant the farm. Turns out that Mr. Pumpkin, his family has been so sort of ensnared by pumpkins for so long that they have seeds just pop out the head.
Okay.
So he sacrifices himself to flower the pumpkin garden once more.
But I feel like we need a good ending joke.
What if it's like Mr. Frog says a speech of he will never do the earth any harm again, and he's like, you know what, that's my president, and then the sky lights up with an E, right? And you just see, it's just like in the news, it just says Mr. Frog destroys galaxy that is bug shaped.
Yeah, easy. So he promised he wouldn't hurt the planet anymore. So now he's destroying. He's gone to space.
And because he's created a narrative of war against another people, it's like he's being heralded as like a creator of peace. Something like that.
Because he stopped them before they could do any war crimes.
Yeah. So we have a introspective moment where he's like, it's not that he feels bad. It's more like he realizes he can do bad things to things that aren't human and create a common enemy, and he will get liked for it, so he can be a psychopath and have fun.
So the news is like, President Frog declared war against another galaxy today, successfully preventing it from committing any war crimes in the future. He went up 6 points in the poll.